Baggy's here. Good man. How we going?
Good.
Situations change, my friend. We can see how far that we can.
Alright, Team My Protein coming in from Melbourne. Doubles Pro. Cheering. There's a rock and roll. We've got Craig got a video at all. Coming in hot.
Cast them away and build a place that's new. Your heart is beating fast. Your walls come down at last. You're free to forget about your past and all the worries that you had. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Me brought the camera. Yeah,
Looking forward to the movie?
I am. I think we should get to go to see movies like this. Jay doesn't like this kind of movies, so I'll go on my own or find someone to go with.
It's a boys' trip.
As you say, just three bros being bros.
But you are a man of popcorn. You do love your popcorn, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to most. I'm gonna have to. I'll probably, if I don't finish, I'm gonna have to take it to HYROX with me.
Your mind. The world can get you down, my friend, but we will keep on fighting all we can till the end. Your heart is beating fast.
We are 11 minutes away and boarding in 45 seconds. So it's going to be tight. Jetstar, the one time I want you to be delayed is today. So I'm happy for you to be 5-10 minutes delayed, but otherwise they're providing a flight hopefully. The drama. Boys. This way. What's your excuse? Well, we've got a bit of a dilemma a bit later, which is our flight. Our time for HYROX is 7:30, and normally that sort of takes between 53 minutes and say an hour and 10. Then our plane is boarding at 8:50, which leaves us, and we're about 25 minutes away from where the airport is after HYROX. So we have an Uber waiting, or we will have an Uber waiting, straight from HYROX, straight running towards the Uber, running to see if we can catch this flight. Now, love to get a bit of a poll to see if we're going to make it. And if we can't make it, there's one more flight that we'll have to pay for, which we don't want to do, at 10. So it's a bit of a dilemma, but we're going to see how we go. So poll up, see what you guys think.
Top on at 12. Congratulations! Welcome to the world of HYROX.
Right, welcome back to another YouTube episode. This one here, we're going through all our HYROX from the weekend. We're going to take you through
little bit of a background in terms of why we got involved in this HYROX, and then who we got beside me. We've got Kiz here, who Kieran's a staff member, coach, PT, and an unbelievable athlete at the Performance Club. And so when we got invited from My Protein, who's one of the major sponsors of HYROX now going forward, as an ambassador for My Protein, we're asked if we wanted to do a HYROX event. And as I just done the Melbourne one as a single, I thought with preparation, LA to Vegas is the priority and what I'm training for. I thought, why not just doing the doubles? Kieran here, as I said, is a good looking lad. And also an unbelievable athlete. He finished first in his age group in Melbourne HYROX, so he'll be going to the World Championships because of that result. So I thought, why not get kids involved, and we'll go over there and run amok, which we did. So it was a good opportunity to do as a team, which you normally don't get to do. And again, all my training and preparation has been for LA to Vegas, which is in 42 days from today. So yeah, we sort of, I guess, headed over there in a bit of an unusual fashion, nice and early, headed over to Sydney, and then it was a whole drama of getting from start to finish, and we absolutely crushed HYROX, which we'll go through now. But again, welcome to Kieran on board.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here, and thanks for having me at Sydney. It was a great event. I think been saying all day, I think we did better than we expected. We didn't really know what to expect. I've been saying I think we had a good general base fitness level, so I think we were going to go okay. But to finish the way that we did, second overall, first in our age group, I think was a good result. So stoked.
Yeah, I think in terms of training for it, we really haven't been doing much training in terms of HYROX, and with having that as the focus, and then even in terms of strategy going to it, we spoke about it when we got to the airport, which was the first time we spoke about it, and we didn't really speak about it much then. And then 10 minutes before we went out on the spin bike, we sort of said, okay, so this is what we're going to do, and then we went out and we just crushed it. So it was going to be one of those ones where, we're both reasonably fit, we think, and we're able to sort of vibe off each other in terms of when we were struggling or when someone was going well, and the communication, that was really good. And I knew that was sort of going to happen when we got out there.
Yeah, 250. Yeah. You do 250. Yep. Yeah, I do 250. Yeah.
It should be like 100.
Yeah. Then at either side I'll have. Yeah. If we do that with every single one, at least I can go harder getting in. Because otherwise, you think about it, like, yes, you'll be fatigued when you, but like when we get to the start of each exercise, you're going to be fresher than me. You've got to otherwise I'm going to be fucking slow, not slow, like, you know what I mean? Kieran's a very good runner, and probably the reason why he done so well in HYROX Melbourne is in his running ability. And so his next sort of target is a sub 3 hour marathon. So you can sort of see the depth of his running ability there. So I had to sort of match that. So we sort of had a strategy going into it that he majority of the time would start the exercise, and then he would also finish start the station and finish the station, giving me sort of 20 to 40 seconds on either side of that to recover, so that I could start the run as quick as I could, and for him to sort of catch up on the run, knowing that he's going to be a better runner than me and definitely be able to catch up. But it enabled me to sort of get a nice sort of rhythm with the running, and that sort of worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I think there was a few stations where we had to chop and change on the fly as well, just based on how we were feeling. As you said, we sort of just vibe it out on the day. Yeah, the running's always going to be, it's a running event at the end of the day, you know. You obviously got your exercise in between, but if you can nail your running, that's where you can make up the most time. Like the team that finished just ahead of us, there were a couple of whippets and they were just legging it on the run. So it was a running that got them ahead. Yeah, so you gotta be able to nail that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we took the earliest flight out from Melbourne, get there, and we sort of had a lot of downtime, obviously with HYROX, our event being at 7:30.
I got the extra leg room, so it puts us in good stead for tonight.
So we got there and had some breakfast straight off, sort of headed towards where the HYROX venue was. And then after breakfast, we sort of brainstormed what we could do to fill some hours. And we thought a movie might be a good idea.
Watching Deadpool Wolverine, is that right? Nikki said to do stuff you would never normally do without the kids, so this is probably one of them. I would never go watch this movie, so got to kill some time.
And then we got a massage, we had lunch, and then we sort of headed to the HYROX Arena, still probably 6 hours, 5 hours before our event. So we just rocked up to the HYROX venue. We're about 5 hours early. So we're just going to get in, have a bit of a look around, suss it out. We've been in the movies, we've had a massage, we've had breakfast, we've had lunch. We're going to just check it out, and then we'll see how long we'll go. We might head to the gym for a bit of a quick pump. Just as Kizzy said, just bring out the abs.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll see how we go from there. But there was really nothing else sort of to do. So we sort of just headed there and had a look around, got set up with a bit of a space and had a bit of a sleep. I know we both had a bit of a nap.
Got nice and cozy, found a little quiet area. Because obviously in the arena it's buzzing, but you just sort of find a little quiet area, chilled out. We had heaps of time to kill, as you said. So there's no point getting yourself too G'd up too early in the day. But yeah, we basically just had a bit of a bros trip. We massaged, movies. We
got a haircut.
Yeah, did everything but got besides getting our nails painted really. So it was good. We had plenty of time to kill, but it was a hard one. You got to pace the day, and you can't get ready too early. But obviously, it's a long day, but we made it work in the end. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things of these sort of events is when you get to the event, you definitely feel that nervous energy of what's to come, and you sort of get revved up. And when you get there so early, you sort of got to bring it down straight away and just sort of separate from what you're doing right now towards what you're going to be doing in 6 hours' time. Because as everyone, when you're competing in something like this, you do have those nerves and that sort of anxiety sort of feeling towards a big event. It's going to be an hour of sort of really tough, solid work that you don't want to let your partner down if you're doing it in a pairs or by yourself. So you're really building yourself up, and even just food-wise and like that nutrition side in terms of, when do I eat, how much do I eat, and then in preparation for, that 7:30 kickoff.
All right, I've got Tommy here. He's a TPC member. He won HYROX in Melbourne, and he's going to have a red hot crack here. So we just thought we'd ask him a few questions in terms of preparation for Sydney and what's his goal time and that sort of stuff. So I guess first up, how are we feeling and what sort of goal time we're aiming for?
Okay, I feel great since I start training at the Performance Club with all the facilities and everything, so I can really train as I want. So now I just need to show it on the dance floor. And look, I got my time, my PB in Melbourne, 58.23. Today just gonna be, I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna take some risk. I know James Kelly is there, so I'm gonna try to chase him. And there's a few good athletes today, so just give everything, and we'll see what happens.
So preparation, training-wise, have you changed anything in the last 6 weeks?
A new gym, very good gym, and now I still have that my running coach, and not a lot of volumes the last 2 weeks. Obviously, like this week, I slowed down a bit, but I think I'm gonna try to surf on the wave that I was after the World Championship at Melbourne, and see what happens.
You were telling me that the wall balls stuffed you up the first time you did HYROX, and now lunchtime?
Yeah, so sorry?
At work, at lunchtime?
So I had massive problem with the wall ball on my first my second and third HYROX. I completely explode. And I was doing scaffolder, so I was doing 100 wall ball at every lunch. I don't know if it paid, you never know, but in Melbourne it paid. So now we'll see, you never know though. Depend if it's tired or, depend on the day, but I feel better,
I'm looking forward to a PB time here in Sydney. We're going to be cheering you on for probably the first 15 minutes, and then we're going to get ready, and we'll see if we can chase you down after that little head start.
So thanks, I appreciate it, and I hope you're going to get your flight in time, so you'll have to be under 57, I reckon, for this.
Make our flight.
In terms of the HYROX event, we kicked off with that run. The start's a very crucial thing, because if you're not at the start, that starting line, which we said we wanted to be, and then we just got there too late for that sort of pre-introduction, you're having to get around all these people at the start, especially this Sydney one, because it was quite close in terms of the turn and very tight around that first couple of turns. So we made our way to pretty much probably the second in line, third in line, but knowing that we had to go out hot to try and get in front.
Absolutely, yeah. We went out, you went out nice and hot, which is great. I tried to catch up there and I got caught behind a couple people. So that very first run, you're about 20 to 30, 40 meters ahead, and just had to try and weave my way through and put on the burners to try to catch up. But you're right, if you get caught on that first lap, it's hard to make it up. But then from that, it sort of evens itself out pretty quickly. But after that first run, it's all still pretty competitive, and it's going into the ski. Everyone's still pretty much neck and neck. I think we came in third. We were third on the ski, just behind some really good runners. So we came in there and did really well. I think we had a set strategy for the ski going into it. I would come in, do the first 100 meters, just quickly get us off to a good start. Because on the ski, you can obviously chop and change nice and quickly. So 100 meters flat out, straight into 250, 250 again, 250 over, and then I just sort of rounded it out from there. I think after the ski and then on from the sleds, anything after the sled pull was really when the race really sorts to start. So, yeah, but the start is crucial.
That first one, because we did go quite hot, I was absolutely fucked. Coming to that second lap of that first one, I was like, far out, going out real hot here. But knowing we come into that ski, probably third, but I knew but I could hear the judge going, "Oh, you guys are going to be getting out first." He kept saying, because he was sort of walking through the first sort of 5, I reckon 6. So I knew we'd gone pretty good on the ski, and you're always looking sort of left and right to sort of get a good indication of where you sit on those machines, and I knew we were going to be going in pretty hot. We ended up getting second in the ski. So then we went out, and I guess the big one was probably the sled pull and sled push, which was quite difficult this time.
So difficult. So for me personally, in Melbourne, the sled push was probably one of my best exercises. It felt smooth. It was gliding up and down the carpet, and then I remember the very first push in Sydney, it started to come up off the carpet, and it felt infinitely heavier, moved pretty slow. Eventually sort of got it going, but that was one of those ones that was actually a bit of a struggle. But then you came in, moved the sled really well. So we worked our way through the sled push, and then sled pull, I feel like, well, for you, a massive improvement in comparison to Melbourne. You were moving through that really well. But the carpets, I think that's one of the things. Event to event, it's supposed to be the exact same, but there's little factors like that. The layout of the run, the carpet, all these things make a big difference.
Yeah, I could definitely feel the carpet sort of lifting up on that sled push. Which is probably one of the biggest reasons why people have big time differences in that sled, which is probably something they should try and, I guess, fix in the future, because it's the last thing you want to be doing is pushing a heavy sled and for the carpet to be coming up in your section only, where someone else might be getting a nice smooth run. So, and then we, for me, every single run, knowing that you were finishing the last push, even if it's, even with the sled push or pull, it's just probably 10 seconds really.
Tough runner, it's fast.
10 seconds to really get my breath back and then going hard as I could for the run, trying to set a pace. Majority of the time I would go out for probably like the first lap and try and be in front, and then you would sort of catch up. But again, knowing you're a better runner, I've got to try and push the pace that you're going to try and stay with, and not try and lag behind. We sort of had an idea of sort of seeing where the other pairs were. The burpees we were doing short, sharp, sort of 6 probably at a time, and having that other person right there ready to go, communicating to go. To sort of the rower, and we were still third. We were third at that time, and I know the second place went the wrong way, which they ended up didn't get penalised, but they went out the wrong way instead of going all the way around, which again, that 200. Probably 150 metres makes a huge difference. And then the farms carry probably one we stuffed up a little bit, where I didn't really know how far sort of halfway was. So we were sort of running, I was sort of moving pretty well, and then you were like, swap, and I'm like, and I thought that was sort of halfway. And it ended up being nowhere near halfway, and then it was like, do you want to swap? And then it was like, you were going to swap at one stage, And then you're like, oh no, I'm just going to go. And I'm like, all right. And then the lunges, I think we changed it pretty well. I think we were going at a pretty good speed. We were pretty much neck and neck with that second team or that third team that finished third the whole time. So having that, knowing that they were pretty good on that station, there were some big boys. They were still running pretty well.
They're running really well.
And we had that, do you know what I mean, that focus to just stay with them, I guess, knowing that, do you know what I mean, when the run started, we were only probably 5 minutes away in the lunges, but when the run started, we caught them up pretty quickly. So that sort of got us to, I guess, the wall balls where I started off fucking awful, and I missed about the first three. Literally threw it up and it come all the way down, and Kieran was standing behind me, then got told to stand in front.
Shocker.
And we had a bit of a thing with the judge in terms of counting and that after those first few. And
this poor bloke got absolutely bullied. He just kept counting. I think he was practically screaming at 15, 16, and the counter was on about 10, so there's no way we're giving up that 6, 7, 8 reps. Which is fair enough. But to be fair, it was really hard in that because it's right at the very end. The music's at its loudest. There's a ton of energy there. So for the counters, I mean, they've got to keep track. But yeah, we weren't going to miss out on 7, 8 reps.
And then we had a few no reps at the end. I sort of had a glance down at the time when Kieran went in his last 25, and I think that, you mean, we're 56 minutes. I'm like, far out. And I yelled out, we're going to go close here, and I hadn't seen the first person go through yet. And then I saw them. We end up losing to the first place of the whole doubles pro by 30 seconds.
Here's our next group of men, second over the line. Congratulations. Welcome to the world of HYROX.
I saw them, but I hadn't seen anyone else, and then we end up just getting through. And I remember just counting through down the last 10 for kids, and then it was like, just go. And then you end up coming second overall, first in our age group, which I believe gets us to world champs.
Where the race starts. Wait, you book it or what? We just finished 57, 80. 57, 80?
57, 58.
57, 58, something like that. We've rushed straight out, waiting for an Uber now. We have to board a plane in about 18 minutes, and it's about 22 minutes away from the airport. So we absolutely crushed that. We did really well. We come second, we were hunting. We saw those, especially that last round we descended, because we saw these blokes a fair bit ahead, and we just absolutely crushed it and we beat them then. So that was good fun. That was really good fun. I was really happy with that. That was I really enjoyed that.
Did well. You were able to push harder in the doubles. Felt smooth. Run was good fun. Fucking good event.
Felt good.
I think knowing that we haven't trained for it, we didn't have any strategy, and we just sort of went out and ripped it, was a lot of fun. I think, I mean, the whole day was such a big event, but when we got sort of finished the HYROX and we got to the airport, I was like, far out, it was a pretty cool day. Like, it was a full-on day, but it was like to finish off that way after being there at 6 a.m. And to put in, do you know what I mean, a sub 58. Do you know what I mean, doubles pro. I was wrapped.
Yeah, me too. I think it was, you're right, like the relief, not only A, to have a great result, but B, catch the plane, and just sitting down and like we could finally take a breath and realize that, it was a great result. I think, as I said earlier, I think we knew that we would go all right, and we've got a good base level of fitness, but to go that well with, as you said, no prep and no real strategy going into it, brilliant result. So good fun.
I remember with My Protein, so they got us on board pretty early before I was doing Melbourne HYROX, and I said, we'll jump on board and do doubles. I said, look, Kiz is going to go really well in Melbourne, and then I messaged him after. I said, he come first in the age group, so we'll go all right. And I was just hoping that we get to a stage where where we perform really well for the My Protein team, and hopefully looking forward to representing them in the World Champs, seeing where that is, and hopefully the My Protein team can get on board and we can bring that home. So it was a pretty epic day, especially, the day before travelled to Brisbane to watch Lucas's fight. So it was a couple of days of the on and off the plane, just fiddling my thumbs and trying to waste some time during the middle of the days. But yeah, it was a pretty full-on couple of days to get to HYROX, and yeah, I'm definitely sore now.
Oh.
So.
Mate, your ass after an event like that is so sore. The lunges, the sled push, it's ridiculous. So, and the best recovery after a HYROX event is obviously a flight straight after. So, yeah, but you recover well. Big breakfast today, and we're fine. We'll become good.
Thanks for tuning in for another YouTube episode. Obviously, that was a little recap of HYROX. Now we're going to get into our LA to Vegas prep, which is coming around pretty quickly. So big thanks for Keys for joining us, and obviously for coming on board for our Sydney, and thanks to My Pro team for allowing us to be the ambassadors for the Sydney Doubles Pro, putting in good effort, and we'll see what comes of it.
We made it.
Situations change, my friend.
Oh, what pace are we going at? It's not good. We're going 255s. 255 flat. 340 metres. Craigie's done his hammy. Alright, the boys made it. Got extra seats, look at that. Feet are up. We absolutely reeked. Sorry to all the people on the plane. Oh, what a day's work. We are here sitting back. I think I pulled my groin. Oh, I tell you what.
Walking down and last you're free to forget about your past.